Yeah, yesterday the problem was I could not show you the output. Okay, that was a problem, and the exact problem here is we could not install HXM installer. It was you know outdated, and it is asking us to install again and again. Okay, how many times we have installed, but still the problem was not resolved, and we have tried by connecting external mobile, and I have enabled debugging mode. That was done, but install via USB because I did not enable to install APK file in my mobile. I need to enable that in my mobile. To enable that, okay, one of the mobile, to enable that, I need to sign into the account, but I could not do that because of security purpose. I have not done. Okay, so we could not see the output yesterday. So yesterday I spent 1 more hour extra to resolve the problem of HAXM installer problem. So what was done yesterday? After the session, I have resolved the problem. Let me share what was the problem. When we are running the app, the problem was it is saying that out of date. It's not updated. HAXM installer is not updated. So what I have done, I have just removed all the AVD virtual devices that were created. I have removed all these things. Again, I have installed this one more device, the same kind of device. Now, when I have installed, what I have done this one. Okay, when you are installing for the first time, there will be options like to choose the higher versions of SDK tools. Okay, I have chosen SDK higher version, SDK image, everything step by step I have done. Because earlier when I have created these AVDs, I skipped those steps and directly I have installed. Okay, so this time I have not done that. So I think screen is visible. You just see this is AVD. I am showing parallelly code and AVD. Okay, so this is our page. Did you all remember? Yeah. So we have full name to enter, password. Let me give the right password. So right user ID and password. Admin, and password is 1234. Yeah. Now I click on login, and I should give it should give the access to login. So when we log in, we are going to the home page, and the home page has welcome to home page. That's what message we have written on the home page activity. Did you remember? That is the home page activity. Now let's go back, and let's click on registration, new registration. When a user landed onto the login page for the first time, he did not have user ID and password, and they have to go for new registration for the first time. Okay, that was our intention. Now when I click on new registration, I have a option like email ID and password. Okay, I need to enter email ID and password and click on register. Okay, when we click on register, it will be registered. Understood? So right now we did not give any option or any code is not written. If when user clicks on register, what should happen in the background, in the back end, and how the credentials must be taken into our database, which is Firebase. Okay, so that was not done. So I'll leave this one here. Now let's go back and let's give wrong password and see what happens. Yeah, see here. This is the view we have kept. Number of items remaining 5. The counter is 5. Let's see. Yeah, 2 times I have clicked. That's why it's gone from 5 to 3. So click very smoothly. Yeah. Incorrect details. We are getting toast message. Did you all see that? We are getting toast message that incorrect details. And this text view widget is decrementing. Yeah. Once again it decremented. So the last attempt. Only one attempt is left. When I click one more time, this login button must disable. Okay. Yeah. Incorrect details. We did not have any attempts. Now there is an option. There is no option here to click on login. Login button is disabled. That's what we have done. Did you all see that? Yeah, blueprint and layout. See this in code we have disabled that. Now what shall we do now? Now we have gone to registration page. Okay, in the registration page we need to take the email ID and password. Correct. So this is registration activity. We need to take email ID and password here, and today we'll do that. Okay. So let me go to tab. Let's say I'll take firebase.com. Search in internet with firebase.com. So I think it's automatically logged in. Let me see whether I have done login. Yeah. So by default I have login. Okay. Right. When you log in, if you are logging for first time, okay, it will ask you to log in. Okay. When you land on the firebase.com website. Okay. I'll show you that. I just type Firebase. Yeah. It's directly going to the my page. So when you click on okay Firebase, right, try demo, watch video, get started. Okay, you can click on get started. For example, let me see what it will take into. So when you click on get started, it will give you welcome to Firebase, tools from Google for building app infrastructure, improving app quality and growing your business. We can create a project. Okay, click on create a project. You have to use the create project name. Okay, we'll leave this. So this is the page you will get for the first time. Okay, so what you have to do is you need to create the project. Click on the project. Now right now I'll close this. Let me show you here. So because I have created certain projects earlier for earlier batches also, I have created so many things. So all these are our projects. I can delete something and something's times. Now I'll click on create add project. Okay, you are two projects away because it's a free limit. Okay, when you are free limit, it will give you maximum of I think 10 projects to create for free. Okay, more than that it will not give you the access. We need to go for premium version. Okay, so you are two projects away from the project limit. Consider adding Firebase to an existing project or request an increase limit. When I request for increase, it will ask you for the payment. We need to go for premium. Okay, so if I add anything to the existing project, I can go. But let me add one more project for you people to understand clearly. That's why I do this. Later we'll see. I'll delete certain projects because some projects are not required. They are just for project purpose only we have created. Okay, enter your project name. What shall we give our project name? There are so many other names are given. uh, I don't want to mismatch with that. Okay, the project name should not be the earlier name. Let me give that. Okay, login page app 2. I'll give okay some name. Login page 2. Right now, what you have to do is next. Click on next. Continue. Okay, click on continue. Anywhere if you did not understand, put it in chat box. Okay, I will explain one more time. When you click next, Google Analytics for your Firebase project. Okay, all these things are we are giving. enable Google Analytics for this project. So it will be recommended, so that it will give you the analysis what exactly is happening, everything. Continue, click on continue, nothing you can do. Okay. uh, you need to select the account means our Google account already, which is created default account for the Firebase, or create a new account. When you create a new account, you need to give new email ID and new password. And if you already logged in, the same account, default account you can take. So I'll take default account and automatically create a new property in this account. It will create automatically. Create project. Okay. Now the project will be created within few seconds. You need to wait for some time. Any doubts in this till now? Anyone? If you have any doubts, put it in chat box. So the project is created and with the name login page app 2. Okay, you can give your own name, not an issue. So actually we need to give the name of the app. For example, you are creating Amazon app, a clone, let's say. Give your own name, e-commerce app, like that you can give any name. Okay, now it has given login page app 2. Your new project is ready. Click on continue. So it gives me this page. Okay, I have landed onto this page. If you see this one, login page to Spark plan, we can upgrade this plan. So there are options like project overview, build. Okay, what is there in build? There are so many things. App check, Firebase, file store database, real time database, extensions, all these things. Now we need to make sure that our Firebase account must be added to our Android Studio code. Okay, so that's what we have to do. Now there are options here. Are you using developing in iOS, or are you using Android Studio for app development? Which one you are using? Either iOS or Android. So when you develop any application, the complete code, the complete platform, the project, Firebase will be same. Firebase project will be same, but the codes, the extensions, all these things will be different for iOS and different for Android. For Android, we use Android Studio. Okay, iOS is completely different. You need to have separate knowledge to create application in iOS for Apple phones. Okay, so but mostly Android, everyone are using Android. So we are learning Android only. So there is a symbolic here Android icon. Click on this. Okay, package name. Now what package name we have to give here? We need to, your package is generally the application ID in your app level build Gradle file. Okay, now let's go to our Android code. Okay, see here there are left side there is an option called Gradle scripts. So Gradle dot build dot Gradle, it's a project level. Build dot Gradle module. So click on this. Okay, and there is an plugin here, com.android.application. Okay, yeah, com.example.login page. This is a package name, and I will build this one. So what it is asking, this is app name, com.company.app name. So we'll give in the main activity. We have com.example.login page app. This is the name we have given. Now let's uh, copy this. Okay, just copy this and paste here. Okay, so if any error, it will give you the error also. We'll see that. App nickname. Okay, our nickname is login page app. Okay, this is optional. Debug signing certificate. Okay, not required. So click on register app. When we register, our actual app, Android app, will be registered in the Firebase. Okay, Now we need to add certain SDK files, certain configuration files, all these things in the next steps. Okay. Now there is a we have done registration of the app is done. Now what is the second step? Download and then add config file here. What is that? Download Google services.json. Okay. This is what you have to download. I click on download. So when I click on where I have to save. For time being, let me save in downloads only. Google services. Click on save. Okay. Now what we have to do? We need to add. Where we have to add in my application. In the image itself, it is shown. In my application, Gradle idea app. Go to app. In that app, build SRC source code will be there. In the source code, we need to right click and paste it. Okay. So let me go to downloads. Yeah, this is downloads. Now I'll just right click and I'll copy this one. Okay, I'll just copy this and let me go to Android Studio. In my application, okay, this is main activity, login page in Java. Okay, let me see, is that in project level or Android level? Let me see. This is project. Okay, we need to choose the project. Okay, so here there is an option called Android. Go to project, first option, project. The last option is Android. So we take Android when we are working on activities. Okay, when we want to have the source code, we need to go to project. Okay, this is application and Gradle idea app. Go to app and then option called source code. Okay, is it installed in the source code? Just check once again. So app src source code, in this only it is pasted. Okay, so I do the same thing because I already copied path. Okay, I just right click on, I just select the source code, right click on source code. Okay, and paste. Okay, control V, paste. So it will ask you Google services.json will be pasted, will be downloaded and pasted. Okay, now I have this Google services.json. This is done, right? Yeah. Now once it is done, go to next. Click on next in the Firebase. Okay, go to Firebase in the Google. Okay, so this is done. Second step is done. Then click next. When I click next, it is asking for the third step. In the third step, are you still using build script syntax to manage plugins? Learn how to add Firebase plugins using that syntax. To make the Google services.json config values accessible to a Firebase SDK, you need the Google Services Gradle plugin. So we need to add the plugins. Where we have to add? We have to add in the root level. That is project level. I will show where is project level. Let me go to Android Studio. Go to Android Studio. Yeah. Then click on Android here. Okay, I have chosen Android. There's an option called Gradle scripts. In this build.gradle project level, click on this. So it will open here. So plugins are there. Two plugins are already there. This is Android application version 7.4.0. Okay, another is Android library. Two plugins are already there. Now what plugin we need to add right now? Go back to Firebase plugins. Add the dependency. We need to add the dependency, which is Google Services Gradle plugin. So root level, project level, Gradle file. This is what you have to do. So this is the thing. We need to click here. There's an option called copy. I just click on this. It will be copied. Okay. We need not select this link and copy it. Directly copy here. Okay. Go to Android Studio and here plugins are there. Yeah. Here I am pasting. It's pasted. When you paste here, when you do any modifications in the Gradle files, there's an option called sync now and ignore these changes. See here, right top, sync now. You must sync. Okay, then only it will be updated. Then only the Gradle file, what are the changes you have done, that will be synced with the application that we are developing. When you are syncing, If it is not synced, then that means there is a problem with the certain updates. Okay, there is a problem with the changes in the Gradle files. Okay, it must be synced. Okay, I'll click on sync now. So it is synced automatically. So when you get this green tick, that means there is no problem, no problems found. Okay, right. Now let's go back to Firebase again. Okay, come down. Then in your module build.gradle, okay, add both Google Services plugin and Firebase SDKs. Both we need to add. First one plugin I have to add. Where I have to add? I have to add in the app level Gradle. Okay, so let me go to once again. Are you all so far with me? Are you all listening? Is there any problem? Yeah. But sometimes if I my page got stuck and it's not showing to you, I may be talking but you may not listen. Okay, that's why I'm checking in between. Yeah. So module second step is in the third step. In the third step, first step is done. Now go to second step. In the second step, you need to go for module level. So where is module level? Go to Android Studio. Now this is module. In the Gradle scripts, the second option is the left side C. Gradle.build.gradle, that is module app. Okay, double click on this. This page will be opened. Okay, now this is the page. Now where we need to add this? Go back to Firebase and see where we need to add in the plugins. Okay, two plugins we have to add. One is Android application, another is Google GMS, Google Services. Okay, first I'll copy this. If it is already added, I will not do anything. Application, if it is added, yeah, com.android.application, the first I already have, so I'm not doing anything here. Go back to Firebase. com.google.gms.google services. Okay, this one I'm copying once again. Yeah, go to Android Studio and paste it here. Okay, now when I pasted here, I got sync now here. Okay, click on sync now. It will be automatically synced. Okay, there will not be any problem. Yeah, go back. Yeah. We need to add dependencies. What dependency? Implementation platform. We need to add this implementation platform. Okay, yeah, implementation platform, which is Firebase database. Okay, and I'll copy this one. I'll add in the, I have to add in the where dependencies, in the dependencies. Let's check where the dependencies are. Go here. One is plugins, second is Android, default config, build types, compile options, and these are the dependencies. Now come here. Yeah, take one more row and paste it here. Yeah, we have done this one, and one more dependency also there. One is Firebase Bomb, another is Firebase Analytics. I'll add this one also. So sometimes what happens when you are adding these dependencies and plugins, your app may not, sync. Sometimes it will give you the error. Sometimes app will get crash. So in that case, you need to avoid those errors. That can be done by going with a higher version of Android. Certain changes we need to do in Android Studio that will overcome the problem of app crash, problem of not syncing. Okay, if you see, it is syncing. See here, what is happening continuously. Yeah, so now it's synced. Okay, now go back to Firebase. Yeah, so we have done third step also. After adding plugins and desired SDKs, sync your project, Android project with the Gradle files. We need to sync. This is given. Okay, because we have already done. I'm going for next step. Okay, click on next. Fourth step. You all said, you all done. Make sure to check out the documentation. It is giving documentation. When you click, the documentation will be downloaded, and you can see how you can use the Firebase for your Android app. You can also explore sample Firebase apps. Certain samples are shown here. Okay, I'm not going for this. If you want, you can have a look at that. Okay, so continue to the console. I'll go to console. So this is the console. Can you see this? Now we need to do something After adding all the plugins, after adding all the dependencies, now it is our responsibility to write the code relevant to Firebase. Now we have to start writing code. Okay. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me show you what we have to do after that. See, when you got this page, what you have to do, you need to go for authentication, because we are taking the credentials from the application, like email ID and password. Click on this. Okay. And earlier you have seen that we need to enable the email ID and password. Okay. So this is the email ID that we can show. Let's say we are getting from, so we'll send the email for the verification to the customer. So it will be sent from no reply, and our app name will be there, and that is from the Firebase app.com. We can give our own domain here, but if you go for a premium, we can incorporate, we can add our domain here. Reply to no reply. Verify your email ID. To verify, we are giving the link. Follow this link to verify your email ID, because when they give email ID, they may give the wrong email ID also. Am I right? They give you a dummy email ID. In that case, we should not give the access to the user. What we have to do, once they do the registration, we need to send the email link. When we send the email link, they need to click on the email link, then only their email will be verified. Once it is verified, then only we give the access to credentials. So we can change this. We can change, edit. I can go for edit. Yeah. Sender name, let's say I'll give Industech Solutions, for example. Okay. Industech Solutions. Let me see. Reply to, we are not giving anything. App name, for time being, let me go for login page. Okay, I'm giving the app name as login page. Message, verify, all these things will be given. Okay. Yeah. So customize the action URL. I can give URL anything. For example, if I go our website, let's see it will take it or not. Yo, please enter valid URL. So it's not taking. I'll cancel this. Okay, I'll click on save. So our new email ID is ready. So it will be like this. Okay. So these are the users. When users log in. Okay, when users log in, here, all our users will be shown here. Okay, that means when they do registration, user ID and password will be shown here. Did you all understand? Let me go for Android Studio and we'll add the code for this. What we have to do. So go to registration activity. This is XML layout. Okay, in the XML layout, I have designed email ID and password, and there's an option called register. Okay, register option is there. Now what we have to do, we need to go for registering this page. Okay, You have to go for registration. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'll show you the registration code also. How to write the code. Yeah, I'll share you the YouTube link. We see when we are going for Firebase. Okay, whether it is Kotlin or Java, for both the things, the plugins and dependencies will be same. Okay, but when you are developing in Android Studio, you have to choose Java or Kotlin because the code, syntax, everything will be different. Okay, it will not be problem. It will not be problem when you choose Firebase, but it will be problem when you are working on Android Studio. Is that clear? Okay, let me go to Android Studio. I just close these services, all these things to reduce the app tabs. Okay, go to main activity Java. So what are the options we have? Now we need to add certain things here. Okay, so those things are we need to import something. So all these are imported or not, we have to see. So is there anything relevant to Firebase here? No. So we need to import something. Let me import. I'll import something. Yeah, import Android. We'll go for com dot google dot. So there's an option called Firebase. Okay, com dot google dot Firebase dot. Okay, Firebase dot analytics are there, annotations, components, concurrent. Will take first authentication, which means that auth. Where is auth? Okay. Let me write a u th dot auth auth result. Okay, if I am not getting this, okay, let me remove this and first of all I'll add here. If it is imported automatically, we'll see that. Okay, I'll go for this before implementing, before importing anything. Let's go to main activity declaration and we'll see private. I'll take Firebase. Yeah, Firebase is there. Private Firebase. So we need to take Firebase auth. Okay. So Firebase analytics are there. App Firebase auth. Okay. Let me take this Firebase auth. So definitely it will ask to import. Okay. Firebase auth. I'll take Firebase auth. So when we get this red mark, we need to hover on that, right? Cannot resolve the symbol. Okay. For this, we need to go for importing. Definitely we need to import that. Otherwise it will not be recognized. Import um, dot Firebase dot Firebase dot auth dot auth result. Okay, cannot resolve symbol, or we'll take hot dot firebase hot. So we are getting errors with this. Create class, create interface, create another class. Okay, add a dependency. We'll add this. Okay, the problem rectified. I think, yeah. Firebase auth. We have to create private Firebase authentication. We have created here. Yes. Now we can go and write the code here. Where shall we add here? We are giving information. That is number of attempts remaining 5. Okay. So before we go for if condition is valid, actually we are calling is valid, we are validate function, we are calling this validate function, and we are passing these two parameters, input name and input password. Once we call these in the is valid, what will be there in the is valid? In the is valid, actual true or false will be there. Okay, whether it is registered or not will be there. Okay, we'll write Firebase here. I have taken the variable Firebase authentication, Firebase auth equal to, so we need to take from the Firebase, actual Firebase auth dot get instance. I'll take this. Okay, that means from the database we'll check the condition whether it is registered or not. If it is registered, those credentials will be there in our database, so that will be checked by this authentication get instance. Okay, this function will do that. Okay, we'll create Firebase will take, yeah, Firebase user. This will be there automatically in the dependency Firebase user. I'll create an object user equal to Firebase auth dot get current user. Current user will be taken. That means it will check for the present user. It will take the credentials, and it will take the current user, which means that the user who is trying to access into our login page. So they will give you enter id and password. So when they enter id and password, those credentials will become current user credentials. So we are taking those details. Now in which variable these user details will be there? It will be there in the user variable. Now we need to use this user variable, and we need to check whether the credentials are correct or not. Okay, we need to do that. Okay, to do that we need to write the if condition. Okay, so if the user is not 0, I'll write the code. If condition user not equal to I'll take null means not equal to 0. Okay, if it is not equal to null, that means we get the credentials from the database. If we get the credentials from the database, just to finish the task, finish getting the credentials, and start creating the activity. Start activity, creating intent. Directly we can create intent in the same line. New intent of from main activity, which means that login page dot this, and we have to go for where login, which means that home page activity. Okay, dot class. Yeah, we have done this. That means if we get the credentials, we will give the access. If the credentials are there in database, those credentials will be taken by the Firebase authentication is done, and we are taking from with the get current user, and we are checking if the user is null, which means that user variable is 0, which means that we did not get any credentials from the Firebase database. Okay, if we did not get the Firebase database credentials, it will be 0. It will not enter into this loop. It will be go to else, and it will ask for the to enter login credentials or something happened like that. Okay, so we are not writing else condition. We are just checking if the user is not equal to null. If the user is not equal to null, okay, we are finishing the access of the Firebase there itself. Then we are going for main activity to home page activity. Is it clear to everyone? How many of you understood till here?